Happy to be joined by Coach Taylor, Jackson State. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing?
Great, Coach. Appreciate you asking. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's outing versus ULM.
Yeah, it was a solid football game for our program. Going against a FBS opponent that was on our schedule. I talked to the football team about that game, going into that game, about giving us a chance of winning the game in the fourth quarter. I thought that our guys came out there and competed and gave us that opportunity. Had a couple plays that we shot ourselves in the foot. A turnover in that football game where we're driving, and also a critical penalty, a face mask, personal foul. By one of our players that's just playing hard, and just incidental face mask there. But we can't make those mistakes. We talked about the 8 penalties in that football game also. So those are some things we got to get cleaned up. But very pleased about the way that our football team came out and competed. I thought we matched up well. In order enough to be in that football game and give ourselves an opportunity to win. So we got something to build on that I'm very excited about going forward with this program.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Charles Bishop.
How you doing, Coach?
What's going on, Chuck?
Hey, I know we don't normally start off questions talking about special teams, but how big a weapon is Matt Knoll in terms of what he's able to do to flip the field?
Oh, it's huge to have a guy like Matt Knoll on your team. You talk about all the accolades he had going into this football game preseason, all conference, all American and everything. So he lived up to it in this game. I think he averaged close to 52 yards per punt. Anytime you have that kind of weapon that can flip the football field and, get back those teams up, back the other opponent up, it is great. It's awesome that he's on our team, but he's also a great leader. He speaks out a lot to the team. They listen to him, and he goes out and show it in his play.
And quick question, follow up. Lane, although they haven't played yet, just talk about this program, a program that knocked out Tennessee State back in 2022.
Byron Brown, the head coach, is a good friend of mine. We played against each other. He was at Gremlin. I was here at Jackson State. So I know he's going to have that team fired up and ready to go. They hadn't played a game yet, but, that being at their first game, they're going to be fired up, get the opportunity to come in here and, beat a Jackson State football team. And like you said, they went on the road a couple years ago and beat Eddie George and the Tennessee State Tigers. So we got to come out ready to play, execute, play fast, play a physical football game, and be ready to play on our home turf.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach TC, how you doing today?
I'm good, Doc. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Let's talk about the penalties. You ate up the penalties in the first game.
I think, it was none of the penalties really bonehead stuff. It was a lack of focus, what I told the team. We had a false start on a 3rd and short that backed us up, put us in a 3rd and long situation. Talked about the personal fouls, things like that. So that's just something we got to be better at as a football team. And it comes down to the discipline of the football team, and that's what I told them. I thought they played hard, and gave 110%. That's what I asked for them. From this football team, but we can't go out there and commit 8 penalties against a FBS opponent in Monroe and expect to win the football game. So that's something we definitely emphasized starting at what it was Sunday when we got back in here with the guys, that we got to get that cleaned up going forward, Doc.
And my follow-up question, you had 59 yards on 24 rushing attempts that averaged out to 2.5 yards a carry. As far as our the running back room goes, are you still going to go ahead and continue starting the freshman, or are you going to look for veteran leadership in the running back room?
I thought Ahmad stepped up and played hard when he needed to, until we get those other 2 guys back in here. I thought Ahmad played well. He showed great strength levels against an FBS team, had some real strong runs, but we got to continue to rep Travis Terrell. I think he can bring something to the table, put him in some different situations offensively where he can get in space and show that elite speed. But, I was very pleased the way Ahmad that stepped up and played football. We got to get a Zeke going too. Zeke is a kid that played for us last year, had some really explosive runs. So we're working on getting him out there on the football field too, and as well as Nate Blunt.
I appreciate you, Coach. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Thank you, Doc. Be safe.
Next question goes to Timona Stapleton.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my question. So Coach Taylor, tackling was an area of concern last season. Facing an FBS team like ULM, it seemed like the defense still struggled at times to bring down ball carriers. It looks like ULM was able to get 204 yards rushing on Jackson State. How do you assess the tackling in this game, and what coaching adjustments have you made or plan to make to address this issue for the upcoming season?
That was a big deal for us right there. It was yards after the contact. Their running backs ran the ball extremely hard. Their offensive line, played with great physicality. We just once we got on the football field today, to answer your question, we opened up with tackling drills, tackling circuits. I told the defensive staff that's what we wanted to do. They went out there and start working those things. I thought we got better in the second half with the tackling. We came up in the first half kind of eyes caught in the lights, but some guys stepped up in the second half. But you're correct, though. It was a big deal for us last year. And as the head coach, I got to get that fixed going forward when we get to a conference opponent.
Thank you. And just as a follow-up, I know passing game was effective. Are you going to work on the offensive line, creating better pockets and lanes for your running backs in this off week or in this week coming up to Lane?
Definitely. That's a big emphasis going into this game. I told them in the team meeting to the offensive side, the offensive unit, particularly the O-line, in order to win a championship, we talk about playing for a SWAC title. We got to be able to run the football. We have the talent. We have the backs. We just got to go out there and be physical as a unit. We got a lot of guys returning from that last year's O-line. So we got to be able to run the football. And that's something we really, looking to do this weekend. But I thought, with Monroe coming out and playing keep away, I think we only had a total of 53 plays in that game. But if we getting 24 attempts, we got to definitely, be able to grind out more than just try to get this running game going offensively, because, that's a big part of what we want to do, what I want to do, and my vision for this football team.
Thank you, Coach, and I look forward to the rest of the season.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody in Jackson are well. Talk a little bit about Morgan. He's the QB. He makes it happen. When you see his development, and we know from Canton and Syracuse and all the things he can do, tell us a little bit about the quarterback.
Yeah, I thought he played a solid game for us on Thursday night. He came out and did exactly what we wanted him, asked him to do as a quarterback. He showed great leadership out there. He did have a couple missed throws where it would have generated a couple of explosive plays, but not a bad football game. I think he ended up with 23 or 28, over 200 yards, 230 yards, ran a touchdown and had a great connection with Jonas Fortillion. So he's shown some growth. He's shown some growth. He's reading defenses better. He's rallying his teammates a little better this year. So, it's still a process with him. It's still a process with him. He only played, 4 games, I think, started total 4 games for us last year. Did put up some great numbers, but each and every day we just pushing him to get better.
Coach, a packed house. Everybody will be there. The Classic. It should be a sight to see. Lane will come in. Just talk a little bit about just going in and doing what you guys do.
Yeah, just playing a good disciplined football game. Don't want to block out the crowd. It's going to be loud. The band is going to be there. Like you said, the tailgate is going to be packed. Everybody's looking forward to this one. Every time I stop anywhere, everybody's talking about this first home opener. So, and then it's WC Gordon Classic, a big mentor of mine, somebody that I really leaned on, loved a lot, a great coach here. So we just got to block that out and clean up the mistakes we made last week. We talked about the penalties, got to be able to run the football better, and just go out there and play JSU football and give a good show for these fans this weekend.
Thank you, Coach. Have a blessed week.
Thank you.
Coach Taylor, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'll see you on next week. Everybody be safe.
Thank you.